Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Woodbury, Minnesota. Thank you for joining me today, whether you're live with me or watching on replay. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. I don't know. I just want to know where people are from. And I want to know your name. I will look at other demonstrators' websites. They never mention their name. It drives me a little crazy. But I also want to know where people are, just so I can imagine you sitting, in the woods or near the beach or wherever. I don't know. I like to travel, so not that I'll come visit. It's kind of, okay, moving on. North Star Stamper because I live in the North Star state of Minnesota. So let's just get busy. This catalog starts May 5th. I'm very excited. If you are my customer, you should have received one. If you have purchased from me in the last year or so and you didn't get one, reach out to me. I have a list going. I know half of you have received it, so I'll reach out to all of you. I should be doing better customer service. So we are going to talk about this today. So if you have your copy handy, whether you're my customer or a demonstrator, keep it handy. I'm going to be referring to page numbers in here. And today's card is this one, and it opens like this. There's my envelope. It opens just like that. So I made a reel, and a reel is a short video. Or I should say I made a short video. On Instagram and Facebook, they're called reels. On YouTube, they're called YouTube Shorts. I haven't put any on Pinterest, but that's my next challenge, is getting these on Pinterest. Fun folds like this are so hard to photograph. I'm not sure, I mean, if I take a picture of this and I take a picture of this, you don't get the effect of me opening it. So that's why I like the videos for the fun folds. So we're going to do this one today. The one I first posted was yellow, I think, Darling Duckling. And somebody asked for the dimensions. I can't find that card, so I'm thinking I sent it to somebody already. I do have a lot of cards down here in the basement, where my craft area is, but it's not that long ago that I made this card. So we're going to make it today. Let me show you what we're using. And I am not seeing comments again, so let me refresh my computer. There we go. Oh, hello, Kathy. I'm glad you joined us from Illinois. She's usually in Southwest Missouri, but she's traveling. So thank you for joining me. Jean Schiller, thank you for chiming in. Jean, did you get your catalog? You were one person I haven't talked to, and I did have Stampin' Up! Send you one. So let me know if you did not, and I can drop one off at your house. Okay, so look at these dies. The happy birthday, the detail, and the shadow are part of this bundle. They are on, okay, the bundle is on page 41. I can't show you the inside of the catalog. You're going to have to trust me on this. It's called Words and Wishes. The bundle's on 41, the dies are on 59, and the stamp set is on page 48. So these look so tiny. Let me pull them out. They are not tiny. I mean, look how big this is compared to this on here. So you can't tell by looking at this. On the website, if you look under Words and Wishes dies, it'll tell you that the largest die is 4 1/8 by 2 1/4. Look how big they are. Kristen Bryant, my team leader, let me borrow these from her. Look how big. I was shocked by how big they are. Look at this nice big leaf, and then there's a bunch of little leaves. There's a little stem with 2, and then they give you extras, so that's kind of fun. I did use this little confetti die on my arch right here. I used this instead, right there. So I can't wait these are hers. I do plan on buying these. I think I would use them a lot. Okay, so I talked about how big these are in contrast to the Hope, Love, and Joy bundle. This was it's in the current catalog, the January through April catalog. I don't know if I have one handy. I do. This catalog. On page 52, you'll find this bundle. And this is very deceiving. Look how small these dies are. So if you, again, look on the website and look in the details for the die products, it'll tell you how big the largest die is. And I should not have thought the dies would be this big, because they were, the circle will cut out the globe. And I believe this one cuts out the snowflake. And that bird is that. So this is the actual, well, I think it's the actual size, versus the die. So I was a little surprised to see how small they are, but I should not have been surprised. So anyway, and I like the stars on there. I should be using that with my business, shouldn't I? Maybe die cut a whole bunch and use it as a mask so I can get some stars on my things I create. So that's a little note about the size of our dies. Okay, moving on. We're going to make this card. I have some designer series paper here. Let me refresh my screen again. And hello, Mom and Dad. Hello, Alma. And happy anniversary to my mom and dad. 69 years. That is amazing. And Jean Schiller said she got her catalog. Hooray! Well done, Stampin' Up. And well done, Mom and Dad. I was so excited to celebrate with you. Okay. Wood Grain Wonders is what this paper is called. And it's smooth. It looks like it's embossed, but it's not. That's the fun thing about this. This is from the March online exclusives. And you get, I think there's three or four designs. Sorry, I should have done this a little better. So there's one page. There's another page. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that's different. See, they're different ones. 3. And then this darker brown, I think it's pecan pie. Oh, and a light one. Oh, wait, there's one more. So I think you get 3 each of 4 designs. Anyway, it's just wood grain, and it's perfect for what I'm using today. I'm using the horses. Okay, again, this is Wood Grain Wonders. Not in a catalog, it's only online, so that's where you'll go to see that. And I just dropped things on the floor when we're done. Okay, let's get busy. So, I posted earlier today about the paper I'm using. I don't expect you to read this. If you want to, that's fine. I learned how to make this at a Card Makers Success Summit back in January. Erin, I think it was Reed, showed us how to create this. I think they were all most of them were doing fun folds, so I got lots of ideas at that summit. I tried making this out of cardstock. It was too thick. My first thought was specialty designer series paper, which is a little heavier because it usually has foil on it. And that didn't work out either. So I would use regular designer series paper or two-tone cardstock because it's a little thinner. And if you just have a 8.5 by 11 copy paper just to make a template for yourself, that is what I had suggested if you don't have paper handy and don't know what kind of card you want to make. So this is 8.5 by 7 1/4. Again, 8.5 by 7 1/4. Now, if you think about this, this is an actual square in this corner here. It's 3 by 3. So if you take 3 off this side and 3 off this side, what's left over here is our standard A2 card. So this is our standard card. It fits right in this corner. And this square here is what's going to be our mechanism, I'll call it. Okay, so that's how an easy way to remember it. I have one ready to go in case I mess this one up. Okay, so along the 8.5 side, we're gonna score it at 3. Make sure you score it, don't cut it. People always say the darker one is the blade of death because you cut it and then you're done. Okay, so we're gonna score it at 3. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I want this corner to be my 3, so I'm going to flip it this way and do it at 3. So the corner you want to be, so you want a corner that's 3 by 3. So 3 this way and 3 this way. It would also be 4 1/4 this way. Let me make sure. Yep. So you could do it at 4 1/4. and 3 if you want to do it that way, okay? So that leaves you your standard A2 in this corner. Now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Normally you see me using it with the pokey end and the palette, and I've been using the palette or spatula end for adhesives. But your Take Your Pick tool comes with this as well, and 2 putty ends. So I'm going to use the narrower stylus, and we're going to mark 6 inches. So the 3 of the square plus 3 more. This right here along the edge is 6 inches, so I can just put it there. And I'm going to make a little tick mark. If you want to use a pencil, I did on my green one, but I tried this earlier and I just put a little tick mark. Actually, I don't know if you won't be able to see it. You know what? I had trouble seeing that as well. So I'm going to take a pencil. So I'm going to put a little mark there. And then I want 6 this way as well. What's the easiest way? So I think what I did earlier is I went this way. So where the 3-inch cord, I'm not explaining things very well. Where the 3-inch square is, you want to go another 3 to make that 6. So butting this up against the edge here, where my track is my 6 inches. So where the 3-inch square is, you go 6 by 6 and make pencil marks. You could just use a stylus and make an indentation there. It was really hard to see on this dark brown though. So is anybody creating with me? If not, I'll just create it and we can move on, and then you can just go back and see how it goes together. Okay, I was going to say this is the tricky part, but it isn't that tricky. So my 6-inch here and my 6-inch here are going to go in my track. And when I do that, the intersection of these 2 score lines should also be in line there. So if it's not, you may have to finagle your paper just a little bit. So I'm going to put this mark in my track. I don't know if you can see. I think you can. I think you can. Okay. So I'm going to put it in the 2 pencil marks right on the track. And I don't know if you can see. I can. I don't want to mess with my phone camera. But I can see that right in the middle of this line is the intersection of those 2 score lines, which is exactly what you want. You get a really nice fold doing this, making sure that's there. Again, make sure you're scoring. If you're using the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, make sure you score and don't cut. And I'm going very lightly, but I'm doing it a few times. Okay? So 6-inch, 6-inch, score it, and it should go in the middle of that. And that's all. Then you get to fold it and decorate. So the first thing I have to do is decide which side I want. I already folded one here. Maybe I'll fold it the other way. I'll do that. So I'm going to fold this down and burnish it. And I'm going to fold this in, just folding on those score lines, because it's going to fold this way and this way. With the diagonal, I'm actually going to turn it over and fold it the other direction. If you do fold it, if you don't flip it over and fold it, that's fine. You just fold it back, because that is going to make, see how that just popped up? Let me get this stuff out of the way. See how it popped up when I flipped it over? Now you can just fold it in. These should meet perfectly. And we have a nice square here. It isn't exactly perfect, so I'm moving this paper a little bit to line it up and then burnish it. All right, I have already started a blog post that I will, once I get this card made and photographed, I'll just photograph the front. I'll get that posted. It'll probably be done tomorrow morning. I think, you know what? I think I will just schedule it to be posted at 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. So there's our card. And it opens like this. Now we get to decorate. I don't know which one I'm using yet, so I'm a little nervous. And here was our first one. A little bit of stamping, not much. Not much, not much. Okay. I have some things die cut already. We're going to use the Unbridled Beauty, and I checked and this is still available. This was from the January online exclusives. It's been fun. It's been fun to use. All right, so I have a layer to go on the inside, and this is 4 by 5 1/4, just a standard layer. I'll have to see which one I want. And then I have some circles. This is Basic Beige and Pecan Pie from the Stylish Shapes, and I thought that would look nice as our focal point there. Oh yeah, we're going to use this one. This blends in too much. I could swap out the colors, but so we're going to do this. And then I used some of those dies that I borrowed from Kristen, and our card is going to say, "For you." So I'm going to show you this side. So I have adhesive sheet. These words are very fine. Here, let me show you how. And some of these, like the happy birthday, the first letter is separate from the rest of the word, which, let's turn this over and show you. The 4 is separate. The F is separate from the OR, but the U is all one word. The tricky thing on this one was there was a dot for the I in birthday, and I made sure to keep that separate so I could put that in there. So just, you know, what you're working with. And then they give you the shadows. Again, that's Pecan Pie. So I put some adhesive sheet on a piece of Basic Beige, and I didn't cut off this part, and you can see I actually die cut them the first time, and half of the words don't have adhesive on it. Right here and here, the adhesive stops here, so this side was not, it did not have adhesive on it, and I did not want to try to put adhesive on this narrow piece right here. So I threw those away and I die cut them again. So learn from my mistake. When you put adhesive sheet on your cardstock or DSP or whatever paper, cut off the part that doesn't have the adhesive, and then you won't make this mistake. Lesson learned. And I actually have a tub of cardstock that has adhesive sheet on it. So I didn't have any Basic Beige. So let me refresh again. I need to find out why Facebook is not showing me comments, and Alma is creating with me. How'd that go, Alma? Let me know. Let me know how that went. So fun. I love it. I love fun folds. I make so many cards, I get tired of regular ones. Okay, so here comes the tricky part. I always have trouble doing this live on video, so I'm going to pull off the liner. Tony said officially it's called the release liner. There we go. So there's our liner. We'll throw that away. And then we'll very gently put this on here. I'm a lefty, so I do hold the left side, and then I'm just lining that up and setting it down. And it's sticking to my finger. There, just like that. Sometimes when you die cut, you get little bumps, the release holes. I think there's a bump right here in the Y. So I just use my bone folder to flatten that. You may have to flatten this one too, but sometimes there's just an even edge all the way around, and I'll leave it. So just have to look at your dies. All right, this one's going to be a little trickier. I feel like this card's almost done. I do have some new inks handy. I thought we would make a golden glow horse today. I thought that'd be kind of fun. The circle I die cut is kind of small. Here, I'll show you this too. Kind of small for these horses, but these horses could be golden glow. I thought we would stamp this scene down here in the corner. That'd be kind of cute. All right, release paper. Or liner. Release liner. That's what it's called. And the F. So I'm going to start up in the corner, up at the end of the top. There's that. Tap, tap. And then I'm going to burnish some of those release dots out of there. There we go. For you. All right. You could do anything you want with this. I mean, I thought it would be really neat if you had a big die cut flower, just a bit of big flower there with lots of leaves. Oh, I can imagine. I can just imagine. I didn't do that today though. I wanted to use the horses. So we're gonna say for you, and then I'm gonna stamp here. So I'm going to stamp before I adhere, just in case I don't like it, and then I can flip it over. All right, let me refresh. I asked Alma how it went. See if she responded. Oh, Kathy says, I'm not seeing anyone else's comments either. Kathy, refresh your page. I don't know if you're on your phone or on a computer. So on my computer, I have the wheel with an arrow. That's my refresh. If you're on your phone, just on my Android, I pull it down and it refreshes. So hopefully you know how to do that. Alma says, I'm making a template, so I'm writing measurements on it, folded nicely. Awesome. Good, good, good to hear. Looking at this is not the right piece that goes with this stamp set. Interesting. This is mine, though, so I don't know what happened to my thinner acetate. All right, let's grab, I thought this was a cabin, but I think this is actually the stable. And we'll put a fence. And we'll put some horses. So we're going to make a little scene on here. Oh, that's not big enough. So the horses. That's not big enough either. Just get bigger, bigger, bigger. So I have pecan pie, golden glow. You've seen me use that for Winnie the Pooh. And early espresso. My early espresso is very, very dark, so I'm not sure if I need a new one or what. All right, I'm trying to keep this paper clean, so we'll pull one of these off. All right. Can't forget to stamp my envelope, right? Okay, so I think I'm going to put the cabin in the corner. We're going to make it dark. Cabin in the corner. Hopefully you can see. Down near the bottom. Oh, nice. I'm just going to set that aside. And we'll put pecan pie. We'll put a little fence. And let's see. It's been a while since I've used this. So the little grass is at the bottom of our fence. So it's hard to see on sometimes what's what. And I made a mess of that block, didn't I? Look at that. All right. Clean that off. And we're going to use Golden Glow. This is a new In Color that's coming out next week already. Oh my goodness. I've had this for a while, so it seems like yeah, that's good. You know what? Let's put some pecan pie horses back here too. We'll put those up higher. Oh, very nice. I want to add a little color to my stable here. And you know what? I can't decide which color to use, so I'm going to use just a tiny little block. I don't think we sell the A block anymore. So I'm going to put pecan pie ink on that corner. And I turned it around, and I'm going to put early espresso ink on the other corner. So I'm going to create my own color. Then we're going to use a water painter. Oh, good, there's water on there. That's too big. This one. And drip. Just make an interesting color here. And I'm just going to add some color to this. Not color it in all the way, but just to make it a little more interesting. Use some more pecan pie on the side. There. I could do the fence too, but that's good enough. All right, you know me. I have a paper handy, and I'm just going to smush it on there. And someday I'll have more color on here, and I will die cut something fabulous. Haven't done that in a while. Okay, so there's our card. There's our layer. Let's see how'd I do. So it's going to go just like that. Oh, cute. That's cute. I like it. Right. All right, so I have to look again to see if Kathy got comments. So I'm just putting adhesive in the corners. And put a layer here. And you could do multiple layers. If you like lots of layers, go for it. You could put multiple layers here. You could put more designer series paper or cardstock, whatever, on these pieces too. But I'm keeping this simple. I think it'll be good. All right. I want to do some more stamping. You know me. Have to use stamps while they're out. Maybe for you, and maybe we'll stamp some dark horses right there on our circle. And then while I have it out, I'm going to stamp on my envelope. We're doing horses today. I have a niece whose birthday is next month, and I believe she has a horse tattoo. Mom, I'm talking about Amanda. I saw a picture with her and the kids a few months ago. It's been a while. Well, since January. And I saw a horse tattoo I think on her arm. And so I've already made her card using, I don't think she watches, she's very busy. I made a card for her using this horse, and I used rainbow colors. So each horse is, I have a blue horse and a green horse and an aqua horse and Coastal Cabana horse. I'll make sure I share a photo of that after she receives it. Okay, so this is going to go here, and be aware of your adhesive. You only want adhesive on the square here on the upper corner, so don't put adhesive all over and you did hear your card shut. So the easiest way to do that, I like to use tear and tape because I imagine this is going to get moved a lot because it's fun to play with. I'm going to put tear and tape pieces on the corner, so that way I'll know the adhesive is the correct place right here. And now I'm going to put tear and tape on this side, because if I put tear and tape out here, I don't know exactly where my circle's going to be. So I do this quite often. So I'll put, and it might overlap, and that's fine too. I'm going to put some tear and tape here. Get all these release liners off. And I'm going to hold it where the adhesive is here and put that up in the corner. And then burnish. And then I know my adhesive is not closing my card. All right. I have other adhesives here. I have some glued mini dimensionals from a kit. They give you so many, and I don't usually use all of them, so I save them. Okay. Oh, I forgot ribbon and embellishments. Oh, you'll have to watch for my my photo later. I don't like leaving. Okay, during a video. Okay, so I'm going to take a glue dot and put it on the bottom of the F. I don't know if you saw, I held it up. So I knew I wanted a glue dot here and a glue dot on the bottom of the OR. Oops. We'll just do one word at a time. And then I'm going to take a dimensional. So it's going to go here. So I'm going to put a dimensional right there. And then I'll make sure the top of the F covers up that dimensional. just like that. And I'm going to put glue dots on this side of my Y. And I only have 2 left on this pack. So there we go. Yay, I like finishing things. And then I'm going to put 1 dimensional right here to hold it up. I think they were called speckled dots. And I believe they were like pecan pie with, okay. There we go. Pecan pie with early espresso dots in it. You know what? I do want to finish it. Hold on, just a minute. I'll let you look at these. And bring this back out. Don't forget your envelopes. Let me grab my embellishment box. I use an old paper pumpkin box. Look how faded that is. Let's see if I can find them real quick. There they are. Just to finish this off. So I guess you don't need to go look for my photo. And we're going to use a few because I have them. These big ones are really big. I think that's good. Again, those are called streak dots. Sorry, streak dots. Let me show you them real close. Streaked dots. I don't even know if they're still available. I didn't write on them. Sometimes I'm starting to write down when things come out because I always want to know. So there we are. Corner fold card. It was very fun. I have that other one I made today, so card base, so I'll have more to do. There we go. Let me refresh one more time and see if there's questions. Again, I will have a blog post at northstarstamper.com in the morning with photos of these, and then I'll create a reel, which is a short video just showing you how it opens, and then I have the dimensions and a little template for you. So thank you, Kathy. She said I made that fold look so easy. It's hard to describe sometimes. I always like to know where I'm going. And then it's easier for me to figure out how to get there. Does that make sense? So, corner fold card. I could see making lots of these. It doesn't use a real big piece of paper, but big enough that we use it so we can buy more because Stampin' Up's always coming out with beautiful papers. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate every one of you, and I will look for you next time. Again, reach out if you ever have questions, comments, concerns, if you need help with something, if you want to know the color of something in a catalog or whatever. I'm here. I can help. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.